Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Shireen McSpadden, and I'm the Executive Director of the San Francisco Department of Homelessness and Supportive Housing. I want to welcome everyone today to this joyous occasion. So this is one of the new buildings that the city is acquiring to add to our permanent supportive housing stock. We know that permanent supportive housing is a tried and true intervention for people experiencing homelessness. Once people go into permanent supportive housing, they do really well. I think we have an 87% retention rate over 2 years, which means that people tend to stay once they come into permanent supportive housing. And the reasons I've heard from people who are experiencing homelessness or have experienced it is that they have a safe, clean, and quiet space, that they can drown out a lot of the noise of the street, that they can actually start focusing on the things that they need to focus to move on and forward into in their lives. So today I want to thank the mayor for her leadership, her incredible leadership. We've added so much to the permanent supportive housing stock since she has been our mayor. I also want to thank Catherine Stephanie, who is newly the supervisor of this particular building, because the because the lines of the supervisorial lines changed, and so that's great to see you, Supervisor. And I want to thank Steve Good and Five Keys for their incredible work, both on the shelter side, but also in permanent supportive housing, and they're the ones who are responsible for managing this building. This is a building for 114 adults. Right now, it's got about over 90 people moved in. One of the reasons we chose it is because of the location. It's an incredible location. It's quiet here out on the street. One of the other reasons is because it's a building that was easily renovated, and it also had a low vacancy rate. So there were only about 30 people living here, 30 legacy tenants, and so that gave us the ability to move a lot of people in. So today we're going to start by hearing from Mayor Breed, and then I will come back and introduce our next speakers. Thank you.
Thank you, Shireen. Let me start by saying it's so great to be here. And what is interesting, we've fortunately have acquired a number of these properties over the past 2 years, increasing our permanent supportive housing portfolio to almost 3,000 units, which is one of the fastest increases in over 20 years. And these types of projects, sadly, don't get the fanfare. They don't get the kind of support and recognition that they truly deserve. Because, sadly, we see far too many people focus, on the challenges of the streets, but not necessarily on the people who were once part of the challenges of the streets, seeing those people now turn their lives around, not just because they have a roof over their heads, but because they're going to have support from organizations like Five Keys, where there will be case management, supportive services, 24-hour service from a team of people who actually really care about the success of their lives. That's a big deal. And what I say constantly, because many people say, well, what are we going to do about the homeless? And my pushback is this: there's not a one-size-fits-all. Everyone you see out on the streets is not necessarily homeless and have different challenges. And so for us to be as effective as we are in helping people and meeting them where they are, we have to get more creative, and more importantly, we have to provide spaces like this. 114 units added to the portfolio with a team of people, as I said, from Five Keys. Our goal is to make sure that the people that we are directly pulling off the streets and moving in this building never make it back out to the streets, never get back out there for any apparent reason. It takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of money, it takes a lot of resources, and it really does take a village. Of course, Shireen and the Office of homelessness and supportive housing play a key role in managing a lot of the properties that we have been able to acquire, but we can't do it alone. And having partners focused on properties like this and being actively engaged is gonna really be a game changer for our city, because this was not something we focused on in the past. And in fact, by 2023, we anticipate that we'll have about 14,000 units of permanently supportive housing in our portfolio. So that's gonna be a big increase. And let's also talk about the data and talk about all the work we've done and how we are finally seeing results more than almost any other city, not only in the Bay Area, but the entire state of California. San Francisco saw a 3.5% reduction in homelessness overall and a 15% reduction in unsheltered homelessness. So we have a lot to be proud of. We know something is working. We know our streets are challenging, yes, and we see those challenges every single day. But just because people are outside, hanging out, whatever's going on, doesn't always mean that they're homeless. You know, and part of our focus, of course, is making sure that we have support and a roof over folks' head. The other part is services. The other part is assistance in various capacities, and Five Keys has been a really tremendous partner in helping us in this work. So we really appreciate the opportunity to open up this space to make sure that we highlight this space. This was probably one of the spaces that we were able to acquire fast, unlike most spaces we're able to purchase. This was approved in February, and we started moving people in May, and it was first brought to my attention like late last year, so that's really rocket time and bureaucratic years in San Francisco. But every delay means a denial of access to safe, affordable housing. So we have to move quickly. We have to be aggressive. And I want to thank all of you for being a part of that partnership and helping us to make this building a reality, and to maintain this great partnership and this great opportunity for San Franciscans to have a safe, affordable place to call home. And with that, I want to introduce the supervisor who represents this district. It really threw me off because I used to be the former supervisor of District 5. This was a part of my district at District 5, and after redistricting, Supervisor Stephanie is the supervisor of this district, which I think is great, because she will give this building, this side of the community a lot of love and attention. But more importantly, our city is changing. It's changing, and we had to make some hard decisions during redistricting. And in fact, we saw District 6 grow significantly. We saw District 10 grow, but we didn't see a lot of other parts of our city grow because we weren't building enough housing. We have to get aggressive on building housing all over our city. That's really important. But in the meantime, this is a lucky building to have Supervisor Catherine Stephanie. And so without further ado, the supervisor for your district.
Thank you, Mayor Breed, and thank you, Director McSpadden, for your leadership at the Homelessness and Supportive Housing Department. I was thrilled when you took lead of that department, having worked with you for so long now in City Hall. And I am absolutely thrilled that this is now part of District 2 and that we're going to add 114 more units of permanent supportive housing to District 2. It's very important that we do our share. We're often accused of not doing it, and so the fact that we've moved our lines in a way that we are going to be able to do more permanent supportive housing in District 2 certainly means a lot to me. And Mayor Breed is right, and I thank her for saying this. I care deeply about the residents here. I know that we have, I think, 94 here, and there's 114 potential residents, and we will do everything that we can. I want to thank Brandy from Five Keys for taking me on a tour before I got here. And you know, the rooms are incredible. They're people have their own bathrooms. It's dignified space. They have a common room where they can, they have a kitchen. They have a room where they can spend time watching, like we said, football, 49ers, of course. And also, you know, one of the things that I think is really important is that we do what we can as a community to support the residents here. And I noticed that there are no books. We talked about a library, and when I was an aide to another supervisor before, I did a book drive for a shelter, and we are going to start doing that today. We'll do a book drive for the residents here, and I look forward to working with everyone, especially at Five Keys. Steve Good, thank you for all the good that you do. I'm sure people play on that word all the time with you. And Sunny Schwartz, who is one of my sheroes, who is obviously very involved with Five Keys. I'm just so proud of being able to do this. You know, San Francisco has more permanent supportive housing than any other city in this nation. And the fact that we've brought over 3,000 units online in the last 2 years is all attributable to Mayor Breed and her passion and her dedication. And I don't think she gets enough credit for it, and I want to make sure that everyone knows. You know, and we know that it's not just about providing a room, it's about providing services as well. We don't just put people in a room, we put people in a room and we provide them support, and this is what Five Keys does. So I thank you in advance and for what you're going to do for those moving in and what you've already done. I really look forward to being a partner in all of this. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor. So next we'll hear from Steve Good, who is the Executive Director, CEO of Five Keys.
Great, thank you. I feel like everything I wanted to say has already been said. But welcome to 835 Turk Street. We actually call this the Gotham. And while I'm not Batman, our staff at Five Keys are superheroes. And I mean the several hundred staff that work in the 9 properties that Five Keys manages for the city of San Francisco to serve the unsheltered. The work that they do on a daily basis is nothing short of heroic, from reversing overdoses to helping someone with laundry, providing meals, treating someone with the dignity and respect deserving of every single person in San Francisco, whether they're sheltered or not. That's what Five Keys staff is. And I want to say that as a native San Franciscan, I'm incredibly proud and happy to be a part of the solution that Mayor Breed, the Board of Supervisors, HSH has brought to the city to reverse the homelessness problem. We already talked about the 94 rooms, the 30 legacy tenants, 94 rooms that are occupied, and 30 legacy tenants that are still living here, some of whom have been here for 30 years and will continue to be here. And I think we covered everything that I wanted to say. So I have the privilege, actually, of introducing one of our residents, David LeBogan. David's been unsheltered for approximately 20 years, entered the system about 3 years ago, and he's one of our residents right now. David?
Hello, my name is David LeBogan, and I am a resident here. I'm a resident of San Francisco, born and raised 66 years ago. You know what? I'm lucky to be here. This is the first place I could say, this is my house. You know, I got my own key, and I'm just lucky to be here. And now that I'm here, my goal is to really get myself together. I know it's a little 66 years, but I got a place where I could come every night, eat, sleep, take a shower, be safe, and you know, it's my room, it's my place, you know. What makes it even better is, like the first minute I walked into the building, staff kind of made me nervous because they were asking me, am I all right? I mean, yeah, I was all right. I got me a place now. But the way they helped me, especially the guy that was moving all my property around, because I couldn't move it around like him, but he got it all in for me, and I'm here, you know. Now that I'm here, I could really concentrate on getting my health together. And not only my health, but my relationship with my sister. It's only me and her left. Everybody else is gone, and I got a place here where I could ask my sister to come over so I could cook her something to eat, And I wish I could have did that with Mom's, but a little late for that. But I could really say that I hung in there on this ride. It's been 2.5 years. I was living in an SIP, shelter in place, and the first day I was there, they told me they would guarantee me a permanent housing. And 2.5 years later, I'm here, permanent housing. And that's what's going on with me right now in my life, Whoever thought I would be doing something like this? It's like a movie. The mayor is next to me and all these people. Makes me feel like I'm somebody today, The numbers that I was listening to, it made me really understand a whole lot more about what's happening in San Francisco with the homelessness and the addiction that's going on. And yeah, it is a problem, but my results right now, I could say, if you stick with it and really look for it, you could get it here in San Francisco. Something about housing is in the newspaper every day. It's on the news every day, so something must be happening, And I think it's a good thing. I could walk through some of the old neighborhoods, and it just shows, hey, it's different now, They cleaned up a lot of streets. I don't know how much they had to clean up around here, because this is a nice district nice neighborhood. 2 blocks away from St. Mary's Church, and 2 parks right next to me, a half a block away. One of the parks I used to play police athletic league baseball. And that was about 50 years ago. But I'm here now, and I can look at the park every day, enjoy the sunshine, and just come back and kick it in my place, Thank you.
So I just want to thank everybody. I don't know if we are taking questions today, Deborah. We're just, okay. Well, thanks for coming, and thanks for celebrating with us. Have a great day, everyone.